Me will love dancehall and study dancehall from way back when. I keep my king of dancehall for me. And them to know that I'ma say that from my heart.
Rightfully done.
I'm in the care of
Oh.
body of going to earth from you this week.
Oh,
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Daily Scoop, where we take a closer look at what is happening in dancehall, reggae, Jamaican entertainment, and the conversation happening around the culture. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notification, and stick around because today we have quite a bit to talk about. Masicka has been making serious moves internationally, and after his performance at Barclays Center, the conversation has shifted from the music itself to something even bigger. Was this another major milestone for Masicka, and what does a night like this mean for his career? We also have Vanessa Bling, better known to many Jamaican and dancehall fans as Gaza Slim, making an appearance that got people talking. We cannot leave out Beenie Man and Summer Sizzle because there was another interesting story developing there, particularly surrounding the challenges of putting on a major event, sponsorship, the artists involved, and what happened when the music finally started playing. So today, we are going to break all of that down. And as always, this is a commentary. We are looking at what happened, what it means, and why dancehall fans are talking about it. So let's get straight into it. Let's start with Masicka. After his Barclay performance, Masicka was seen backstage celebrating with members of his team. And one of the things that immediately caught people's attention was the cake. Now, you might say it's just a cake, but in entertainment, sometimes the celebration surrounding a performance tell you just how important that particular moment was to the artist and the people around him. The cake was a part of the celebration surrounding what was being described as a successful Barclays Center show. And whether you want to call it a sold-out performance, a packed performance, or simply a very successful night, one thing is difficult to argue with. There were plenty of people in that building. That is what matters, because when a Jamaican dancehall artist step onto a major international stage and manage to attract a large audience, that is something worth paying attention to. Masicka has been building his career for years. He didn't just wake up one morning and find himself performing in major venues. There has been a process. There has been music. There have been collaboration. There have been tours. There have been setbacks. There have been debates about where he stands among the younger generation of dancehall artists. And night like Barclays Center become important because they give fans another opportunity to measure the growth of an artist. Now, here is where things get interesting, because whenever a major show happens, especially when an artist is celebrating the performance afterward, the internet immediately start doing what the internet does best. People start analyzing, they start looking at the crowd, they start counting seats, they start looking at sections that may appear empty. Some people say that show was packed, others say hold on, there were empty seats. And suddenly a successful concert becomes a mathematical exercise. People are zooming in into pictures, they are counting rows, they check section, they're looking at videos from different angles, and I'm not going to pretend that every seat in a venue has to be occupied before an artist can have a successful concert. That's not how the entertainment business work. There are different seating sections, there are production areas, there are reserved space, there are tickets that may not be used, there are people moving around, there are people in the concourse, and there are camera angles that can make one section look completely different from another. So when we discuss a major performance, I think the bigger question should be, did the artist connect with the audience? Was the venue alive? Did people come out? Did the artist deliver? Did the event event generate conversation? And perhaps most importantly, did the artist create a moment that people will remember? Because that's what artists ultimately need, moments. Let's put the venue into perspective. Barclays Center is not some small club tucked away somewhere. We are talking about a major arena in Brooklyn, New York. For a Jamaican artist, appearing on a stage of that scale is significant. And this is where I think fans sometimes lose perspective when they get caught up in arguments. You can debate the exact number of people inside, you can debate whether section was full, you can debate the promotional strategy, but stepping onto a major arena stage in New York is still a major accomplishment. And Masicka is part of a generation of Jamaican artists trying to take dancehall further into international markets. That's important because dancehall has always an international influence. Jamaican music has influenced hip hop, pop, Afrobeat, electronic music, and countless other genres. But there is a difference between influencing the world and being able to consistently fill major venues outside Jamaica. That's where Masicka have an opportunity. But Masicka was not the only person who caught people attention. Another name that started circulating was Vanessa Bling, also known as Gaza Slim. No, longtime dancehall fans already know the history surrounding Gaza Slim. She has been connected to some very important chapters in dancehall history, particularly through her association with the Gaza camp and Vybz Kartel. So whenever Vanessa Bling appeared at a major dancehall event, people noticed. And when she showed up at Masicka events, naturally conversation started. People were asking questions. Why was she there? What does the appearance mean? Is this simple respect between artists? Is there a developing relationship? Or is it just a case of one Jamaican artist supporting another? Sometimes the answer is actually the simple one. Maybe she came because she wanted to support the show. Maybe she wanted to enjoy the performance. Maybe it was simply a good opportunity to reconnect with people in the industry, and that's perfectly normal. One thing about dancehall is that fans pay attention to relationship. They remember old affiliation, they remember collaboration, they remember backstage photo, and because of that, Vanessa Bling presence naturally became part of the conversation. But I think it is important for fans to allow artists to move forward. The dancehall history is bigger than any one camp. And if an artist shows up at another artist concert, that does not necessarily mean there is some huge secret behind the story. Sometimes it is simple support, and support within the Jamaican music industry is something we should encourage. Now, let's shift the conversation because while Masicka was celebrating his Barclays Center performance, another major dancehall figure was involved in a different type of event. We are talking about Beenie Man and his summer sizzle. And this story deserves attention because it highlights something that does not always get discussed enough. The business side of dancehall. We love talking about music, we love talking about the artists, we love talking about performances. But behind every major concert is a business operation. We have sponsors, promoters, promotion costs, there are stage, sound system, security expenses, artists to book, crews to pay, marketing costs, and the venue. And all of that has to come together before the first artist even walk on the stage. One of the discussions surrounding Summer Sizzle involved a sponsorship. And sponsor support was not necessarily at the level that might have been expected. But here is the interesting part. The show still happened, and that's worth acknowledging because sometimes the entertainment industry is about finding a way to make things work even when circumstances are not perfect. You can have challenges, you can have financial limitation, you can have unexpected problems, but if the team behind the event remain committed, they can still put something together. And that's what appeared to happen with Summer Sizzle. The artists came, the fans came, and the performances created the atmosphere. Beenie was not simply another artist on the lineup. He was heavily involved in making sure the event maintained its energy. So, there you have it, people. Masicka celebrating a major Barclays Center performance, the ongoing conversation about attendance and what people considered a sold-out show, Vanessa Bling, also known as Gaza Slim, making an appearance and getting fans talking, Beenie Man putting in work around his summer season. But I want to hear from you. What do you think? Was Masicka Barclays Center performance a major career milestone? Do you think fans are focusing too much on counting empty seats instead of looking at the overall success of the business? Let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the Daily Scoop if you have not already done so. Turn on your post notifications so you don't miss the next story. Until the next one, big up yourself, stay safe, and keep supporting Jamaican music.